Hello and welcome to the second episode. In our first episode in our Eador Imperium series, we were able to conquer 3 provinces located in the first ring around the castle. This is kind of the first ring here. This is not a province that we can conquer, it's just a mountain region. But we can't really complain. It was a good start, I think. We chose to pick a scout to do this series. One of the setbacks of a scout in my book is the fact that he constantly has to repair. So if you right click on his portrait, you can actually see that the durability on his arrows is pretty much 0. So that means that we have to go back to get that repaired before we can proceed and conquer any other provinces. So we're going to do that first of all. As I mentioned in my first episode, I'm going to keep a little buffer here instead of spending the 200 gold that I have right now. I'm going to keep them around in case something happens in a province, disaster strikes, or who knows what. Because you don't want to be without resources to remedy that. Otherwise it leads to an unhappy population in the province and that leads to a big mess. So either way, let's continue here. Sometimes these messages are, you don't get the chance to read them, because the game is pretty fast, to be honest, but you're not missing out on a lot, to be honest. So, let's get that repaired. Repair everything. Also, something that I didn't really touch upon in the first episode is the fact that this game, if you play it kind of in a relaxed, casual manner, some of these games can last up to about 250, 300 turns. It depends on your initial setup, how big the map is, and how many enemies you pick. But what I'm planning to do is kind of... I don't want to bore you with doing a series on 250 episodes like I did in the first series, which I don't know how many total episodes it was, but I kind of want to... I will probably skip through some of the turns, and that will bring me also to the next topic that goes hand in hand with Eador Imperium, is the topic of safe scumming, and it's something that needs to be addressed. If you're not familiar with the terminology of safe scumming, that it basically, to put it bluntly, it stands for the fact that you save a game right before you have an important battle where you might take some losses or casualties so that you can reload the game and try to do it better. Some people frown upon that, some people think it's okay. I'm kind of in the middle about that. I would prefer to avoid it. I think everybody would prefer to avoid it. But in a game like Eador Imperium, where you take a long time to get your units leveled up to, let's say, level 10 or 12 or even higher, and you lose them because you make a stupid mistake, it's going to be very tempting. And I've done it too in the past. I'm not going to lie about it. To just quickly reload the game, try to do it better. I'm going to try to avoid that. And I'm going to be honest about that. Even if I skip a couple of turns and I come back in an episode, I will just honestly tell you, hey, this is what happened. And yeah, I had to load the game because I made a really bad mistake and this was a mistake. So at least we can use it as some sort of a learning experience maybe. But I would really prefer to play the game without saves coming. But yeah, in Eador Imperium, it's I've seen some of the videos online, and I'm not going to use this as an excuse, but it seems like everybody does it. Because it's so painful to see your unit, your level 10, I don't know, archer or whatever you want to do, to see it die because of a stupid mistake. So yeah. Anyway, sorry to bore you with that, but I just wanted the technical details out of the way. So we're going to see what is available here. There's a free settlement, but I think this is kind of like it's not great terrain, it's swamps, which gives more gems, but hardly any income. So it's going to be interesting to see what's defending those lands over there. It's a very similar setup, just like what we've seen before in the first episode, so this should be doable. Any province with hills is really great for our setup, because it increases our range on the archers. And these guys have literally hardly any defense at all, so it should be okay. I'm gonna move my guys a little bit closer. So it's mostly self-explanatory, I think, what I'm doing. Except when I make mistakes, of course. So I just won't go into detail about every single move that I'm making. He cannot reach the hero yet, so I'll just help out there. Hopefully give that swordsman the killing blow here. I don't want to repeat everything I said in the first episode, because I don't want to bore you guys, but one of the things I really addressed is the fact how I play my swordsman as a defensive unit. He will only attack if it's really going to make a big difference, or if he gets a killing blow. And for the rest, he just... hopefully he's going to stand on a hill and function as some sort of a wall. And it all has to do with his defensive values, and especially his parry rating, which is, I think, his main strength. As you can see, he doesn't even take damage. Kind of saw that coming, but it's okay. He stands on a hill, so he should be pretty decent. First, we want to get a heal in. So he can actually come back and kill that one. And I'm gonna give the killing blow to my hero. And that concludes that fight. Really hardly any income in this at all. We got more help. Let's see what we get here. I actually like this pathfinding stuff because it helps him move in the terrain when you're fighting these battles. So that he can actually move further on hills and forests and things like that, and it might actually be helpful. Normally I would go for anything that has to do with his ranged power and precise shot and things like that, but that was not available. I can kind of look what he has. His range defense is pretty decent. Stamina's kind of on the low side. I'm gonna give him a little more stamina. This is very handy because they only have 5 times that they can heal, and when they've used those 5 times, then they basically are useless for the whole rest of the fight. And sometimes that actually will happen, that you're gonna need it for him to heal you 5 times. So if he can actually get more heals because of meditation, then that is pretty handy, and that 1 hit point is not going to make much of a difference to him either way. So I'm going to show you my thought process when I level units up. I'm pretty sure it's not the way everybody plays, it's just the way I prefer playing, and it makes sense to me, to be honest. Okay, so 27% explored. Right now they're not really happy with us yet. Gear is fine. Let's have a look here. Make sure that these are all in the... Yeah, this one is really low. I did notice that while I was recording, that this was really hardly... could hardly read it, which is really strange. Because I recorded really high quality, I think. And I'm not sure, I tried to fix it. I couldn't really fix the red line here. But then again, to be honest, on my screen it also kind of looks kind of blurry, fuzzy. I'm not really sure how to fix that. But anyway, let's see. That is Orcish tribes, so there's going to be a couple of Orcs, of course. I'm going to do a little bit of exploring here in this province first. And then we're going to make our way to the other province, get that one out of the red. What are we at right now? 34. Let's do one more turn. That's fine. gonna see what it actually would cost to get another unit here, because we have an open spot right here. We go for the swordsman. Well, yeah, we would go for the swordsman, so that's 9 upkeep. Brings that down to 14. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, there we go. And while we're here, might as well do a quick repair. And off we go. Well, I'm gonna check out the orcs first. Now the orcs have the witch doctor who can do damage at range. So can the club thrower, but he's really not usually in any kind of threat or nuisance. The witch doctor is really the one that maybe stands at a distance and does some magic damage to you, but it should be okay. And that would, I think, conclude our first ring of provinces that we can conquer. Mountain air region again, so that's really good. I keep calling them mountains, they are technically hills. Okay, so we want to push him through. Maybe put him here. I think that would be a decent spot, so you can go here, here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, where's the witch doctor? There he is. So he's gonna do some damage. He can probably reach these guys. He's probably gonna go for this archer. Okay, we're gonna run him through. Then we're gonna put him here somewhere. Yeah, you have to keep that in mind. When they walk into these hills, they lose stamina right now. It's not really a great spot for him yet, but that's okay. I'm gonna move him here next turn. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna move him here, move him here, move him here. He can now reach him next turn to heal. I wish I could reach that witch doctor. If you look at the pop-up, you can see that the spell range is 8. And my hero can shoot 7, so I can actually move him here. And do some damage. Let's see who's gonna hit. Now he's gonna shoot at my hero. Okay, that's fine. Let's get the heal going here. I'm gonna keep him here for now. In case the witch doctor does some more damage, I can still heal him and then I can move him on the hill when it's necessary. If you look at the left bottom here, and you can see that he has 2 ranged attacks left. So it's fine. I'm not gonna focus on him anymore. I probably shouldn't have to begin with. Probably move him here. Yeah, that's fine. Get some heals going. And that is his last ranged attack, so he's going to start walking now, which is fine. Now we're going to move him in position. Make sure you face the right way. I'm going to put him on this hill here. And that was actually not smart. I should have rested with him, because if you look at him, he can rest, which would actually restore some of his stamina. And he lost 1 point. He had 10 stamina. He lost 1 point getting onto the hill. It's those little things that annoy me, that I keep forgetting about those things, because they can really make a difference. When you find yourself without stamina, they can't do anything in the remainder of the fight for a couple of turns. I'm gonna put him here. Alright, let's heal him up. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack, I'm just gonna stand there. You see that the parry triggered right away. He hardly takes any damage, but he hits back for 6. So that's just fine. That's the way I play these guys. And let's see. I want to shoot a little bit of that guy up there. He has movement 1. And he also is really important because the movement one doesn't tell the whole story. Sometimes they have what is called a forced march. So they can actually march closer to you by using some stamina. They can actually hit you, but this guy can't because he doesn't have that ability. So we're still fine. He can actually not hit this guy either, so we're good. Well, besides his little range attack, but that doesn't do anything. And we'll just keep shooting at this guy. There, this guy actually had a forced march and quite some damage actually. And now he's out of range. Okay. He should be okay. We'll be able to actually use him to do the killing blow. It's tricky. And he's gonna step on here and hit him now. Okay, we'll just attack. Let's see, we're gonna move him here. Okay. Just bring him within healing range. He has no attacks left. Wow. Didn't do any damage. Let's see. He has no attacks left. Here. I'm gonna move him here. I'm gonna move him here to block this orc from going to my hero. Nah, it's fine. That's fine, so we can get a heal in. Call it a day. Okay. Wasn't perfect, but it will do. There's no point in giving a Bowman a counterattack. The moment they get to him, the unit's gonna suffer, so morale is pretty important. So it's fine. I can actually give this forced march to my swordsman. I usually go for morale. I don't care much about it. Not on that unit. Okay, so we were able to get the first ring of provinces here. So we check our gear because it's like 3-4 battles and he has to repair, otherwise he can't even use his arrows. So income is 16. So we're gonna do some exploring here to get these numbers up. Hopefully run into some interesting instances or locations. I do want to build something though. I'm probably gonna build a little bit, start on the magic area. I can construct it now, but I'm just gonna line it up. We already have that, so get some spells going, some healing spells. Okay, and some mobility spells, let's call it that, where you can speed units up or slow them down. I usually try in the beginning to find a location that can offer you troops. They do exist, they are around. You kind of have to be lucky with that. Some locations actually offer some fairies and dryads, and a fairy is something that I really would like in my army because of the setup that I'm going for. And the fairy has this really great ability that it can speed up your units, again give them haste, and especially for your melee units or even your flanking units, that can be really very handy. Makes a major difference. So I'm kind of hoping to run into those, but I don't have any locations that I see where these are available. Kind of have to be lucky with that, to be honest, because every map is different. Yep. I have a store with some, well, you can buy rings and stuff there, but that's not important right now. Alright, let's explore this one. I'm not super thrilled with the location of where I started. I usually Well, actually, I kind of take it back because I see there's now several mountain regions here. You kind of try to create bottlenecks that you can lock up with a fortress for the defense purposes so that the enemy hero cannot attack you all over the place because they have to go through these bottlenecks. And I usually don't like the water because the water gives access to... They can literally land here, here, here. And you kind of have to keep an eye on that, but it's actually not too bad. We have two mountain regions here, which hampers my growth and income in a way, but it also offers protection, so that's kind of a good, decent trade-off. Let's keep going. We're just exploring. We found an unholy shrine. That's an easy fight, it should be okay. These barbarians, they have this lovely ability that at some point, if they take too much damage, they will go berserk. And they do more damage at that moment because, well, they go berserk, if you're familiar with the term. But yeah, they shouldn't even be able to reach us, so we should be okay. I'm going to move him a little bit towards the center here. Oh, this is fine. Healer should be here. Okay, let's get these guys going. Put the healer in the middle. If you're wondering what these leaves are, it's a forest. It's a really great square to stand in if they have, for example, a bowman or ranged attack, because it actually increases your ranged defense by +2. So that's really nice. Just a little side note there. Right now, there's no point. It doesn't protect you against magic attack from ranged, for example, but they have nobody that really has a ranged attack. The barbarians can do one throw, but it's really not. There he goes berserk. We'll move him up. Now, let me double check. Okay. That is their ranged attack. Like I said, it's really nothing major. Now, if I shoot here, I want to see if I can actually... Because these guys are berserk, so they do a little bit more damage. Yeah, I'm gonna move him here. Yeah, we don't need to heal. He's hardly missing any health. But now we can heal him. Now this guy's cursing him, and that actually lowers his values overall. If you look at his defensive values, they are definitely affected by this curse. Still okay. I mean, there's really no hurry. I can send him out and see if I can kill him, and then this guy will hit him, and it just makes life a lot more difficult. Goes a lot faster, I admit. I don't know. He's berserking. So let's see how much damage this guy actually does. Because he's cursed, so his parry is hardly helping much because his defensive values are so low, but as you can see, it's still well within range here. Oh, too much damage. Okay, let's get the killing blow to him. Now he's out of range attack, so he's gonna walk. We'll move my hero closer, move this guy closer. Okay, let's see, this guy's level 1, this is level 2. I don't want to waste too much of time, I'll just kill him right off. Normally I try to give the low levels more experience. We gain magic. Archery is one of the most important skills for the archer here. Because a precise shot, which allows you to ignore some of the armor that the target has, so you do more damage overall. Yeah, my healer doesn't really care much about counterattack, but stamina can make a difference. Word of Life is a healing spell. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a level 2. You look at the bottom, circle 2. So we'll actually look at that in a moment. It's pretty handy to have. Because he has the scroll, he can actually use it as soon as a slot opens up for a level 2 spell. So you don't have to build the structures. These structures allow you to get spells and things like that. So, but if you find a scroll, you literally could do without the structures. Okay, let's build one. Now if I right click, he actually has, when it comes to magic, a level 2 slot open and 4 level 1s. And he probably needs to repair soon anyways. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna run him back. That's good timing. Let's go. We'll build that one. And then we are gonna get our magic spells. Word of Life is a nice healing spell. We'll put that there. Haste, slow. Haste is usually used on your own units, of course. You don't want to speed them up. Although actually, now that I think about it, I see actually ways that could actually help you. But yeah, that's... I'm not going to bother with that right now, to be honest. But I can actually see ways that it would actually help you to speed a certain enemy unit up, so that it comes faster to you, so you can take care of that one before the whole group arrives, for example. But curse might be handy. Right now, this is all very... doesn't make much of a difference. Just as long as you have a healer and you have a heal spell, it's fine. Okay. We also want to repair real quick. That done. Our income is only plus 16. It's really not too exciting right now. Let me think here what we want to build next. Probably get some... Yeah, we want to build that one. Gets a little bit more income. And what I usually do is... in the provinces you can build as well. I'm going to look for the pub, and I think that is the inn. Yeah. Now, I've always trouble remembering where they are located, and inn is a level 2, so it's probably here somewhere. Okay, so we're building the tavern, then we need the granary. Is granary or granary? Actually, I don't know. And then after that, we're going to build the inn. Okay. It's usually the building that I construct first in the provinces is the pub, because it gives +1 income, and also will increase the population mood by 1 if there's a theater built in the stronghold. Theater it's not easy to get to in the beginning because it's quite expensive, but at least you get some income going from the provinces, and yeah, that helps. Let's see where we're at. Anything in the red numbers here? I'm going to go back here. I keep hoping that I will find that location where you can... okay, where you can get some friendly units that you can purchase, like a fairy or a dryad. That would be really handy. And like I said in the series, I will, skip through certain parts because I don't want to, spend 30 minutes exploring these provinces and bore you guys to death. A dark dungeon. Yeah, we're not ready for those yet. We'll meet those guys later. I don't think not yet. Okay, let's keep on exploring. Yeah, vampire we discussed in episode 1. Ready for that? We built the inn. Now we can start building the pub, which does not have the population mood effect yet, but it will give us +1 income. And the capital grew 1 in size, and I think another province did, so now we're at +22. That's pretty decent. I'm not super happy with this, but we're okay. At least I hope we're okay. Now this one is an interesting one because it actually offers iron, and there's wood in that corner. But this is the second ring, and normally the further you get away from your main location, main settlement, it gets more difficult, of course. It's worth checking. It says barbarian tribes, so should be okay. Depends on the number. Let's go. They have a thug. Barbarian and Shaman, we have seen him before, but the thug is the one that is the problem because he hits like a truck at this level in the beginning. So unfortunately, we have to retreat. It's slightly disappointing. I might actually check this one out. It's also pretty handy. But I'm going to leave it here for now. So next episode, we'll pick it right up here, and I will very likely go explore this one. And shows us outlaws. It should be doable, unless it's really a high number of them. But it should be doable, because this is really a great province to have because of its redwood supply. And that's really going to help us with income also as well. I do want to thank you for watching today. I hope I will catch you guys next time. But until then, please take care and be safe, guys.